Welcome to Dial Up Digest. Starting off this list of 5 bizarre Canadian kid shows you've never heard of, we have Nanalan was a live-action preschool puppet show that aired from the years 2000 to 2006. It was about the curious adventures of a 3-year-old girl named Mona and her dog, Russell. I've always found the show to be very bizarre for so many reasons.
We're the Prince of Dirt! Woo, okay, no touching Nana with you.
For one, the creepy puppet designs. I mean, Mona was kind of cute, but she did sort of look like an alien with her green skin and beady black eyes. I found it strange how her grandmother had this bright orange, yam-shaped head and didn't look anything like her daughter and granddaughter. I wasn't much of a fan of the cardboard cutouts either. I get that the show was meant for preschoolers, but I've always thought it just made the show look like a cheap elementary school play. The background music was an interesting choice. It sounded like something you'd hear on a tropical island.
Take me home, to Honolulu, sun.
Also, most of the time you couldn't really understand what Mona was saying.
Think you, Nana.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Number 2 is Toy Castle. Toy Castle was a live-action show that aired from 2000 to 2006. This show had actors pretend to be toys that would come to life once the kids were asleep. I was actually afraid of the show when I was a kid, and that was because of these two. The dramatic white makeup was just too much, but it gets worse. This is Frida and Frederick. Don't they look like they belong in a horror movie and not a kids show?
But, what if I look silly?
The show was also weird because the actors never actually spoke. Everything they did was narrated and the actors just acted.
Don't worry, you'll be back.
It was almost like watching a creepy Halloween play. At number 3, we have Uhoh was a wacky game show for kids that aired from 1997 to 2003. Everything about this show was bizarre. The object of the game was for your team to win the most number of points after competing in a variety of activities. These activities were messy and sometimes looked like Fear Factor for kids.
Hey, all you gotta do is make up your own little sardine and bean sandwich, eat it in 20 seconds, you get 50 big points. Are you ready? Get set. Are you ready, buddy? Go!
The host always wore these crazy clothes and had an eccentric personality to match.
Then let's speed right over to our quizmaster Patricia.
There was also this character named the Punisher who was like a wild animal. This man would actually attack the kids in the audience, so he was kept locked up in this cage. Luckily, it only took one word to make him behave.
Punisher, Punisher! Control!
The Punisher's purpose in the show was to pour a bucket of slime onto the kids and, I guess, punish them. It's weird because the kid who gets slime poured over them didn't actually do anything wrong. They were punished after their partner answered a question wrong during a game.
Welcome to the game.
Next up is PJ Katie's Farm.
Join the gang for adventures and fun. Katie's Farm is for everyone.
PJ Katie's Farm was a bizarre 90s improv show that featured plasticine animals.
Brother, come and embrace me, brother. No, Frank, this time you've gone too far. You are no piglet brother of mine.
Not gonna lie, I did like this show when I was a kid, and it was pretty popular, but looking back, it was pretty weird. Her facial expressions, random dances. You could tell the episodes were made up on the fly because she would sometimes forget things as she went along.
And the goose name, what did I call the goose again? Darcy. And
she was really into it though, which did make the show entertaining.
Finally, Delilah the cow puts an end to all the shenanigans. What a great word. Shenanigans.
And finally, we have Freaky Stories. Freaky Stories was a show about urban legends that originally aired from 1997 to 2000. The show was similar to Goosebumps, except the stories were animated and had two hosts. There was this gross-looking maggot named Maurice. He had no eyes and was always dripping with translucent green slime.
Open place. Oh, yeah. If you think this is disgusting, where do you see our next story?
When he talked, you could see the slime in his mouth, which I thought was especially gross. The other host was a roach named Larry, so in between the animated stories, there would be these random skits of these pests and their dysfunctional friendship. Every story was allegedly
It's a true story. It happened to a friend of mine.
The stories were actually really well written. The legends were often about outrageous, gross, and of course, freaky events that allegedly happened in real life.
Jennifer died 10 years ago this very day. I guess she'll keep coming back as long as she's needed.
Not something to watch before bedtime. So, as you can see, the Canadian children's television scene in the 90s was bizarre. As weird and creepy as some of these shows were, they hold a special nostalgic place in the hearts of Canadian 90s kids. So, what do you think of these shows? Which show looks the most bizarre? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Until next time, my friends, dialing out.